Good morning, dear children. Let us continue the lesson motion along a straight line. Okay, last class we have discussed about the velocity time graph and also the equations of motion by graphical method. Actually, where we have derived three equations of motion. Okay, do you remember that thing? Okay, v equal to u plus at, then s equal to ut plus half at square, then v square minus u square equal to 2as. These are the three equations of motion. Okay, then next the last topic of this chapter is actually the relative velocity. Relative velocity. Okay, after completing this section we can do problems. Okay, let's see about relative velocity. See, suppose if you are traveling in a bus. Okay, suppose if you are traveling in a bus, now say another bus overtakes us, then we will not feel the actual speed of the overtaking bus. Okay, as it felt by a person who looks it standing by the side of the road. Okay, if we are traveling in a bus, then another bus overtakes us. We will not feel the actual speed of the overtaking bus as it felt by a person standing by the side of road. Okay, that is our common experience actually. Then if both the buses are moving with the same speed in the same direction, then a person in one bus observes the person in other bus at rest. Okay, even though both are in motion. If both the buses are moving with the same speed in the same direction, a person in one bus observes a person in the other bus at rest, even though both the buses are in motion, or both the persons are in motion actually. Okay, then consider another situation. If both the buses are in opposite direction, if both the buses are moving in the opposite direction, then the passenger in one observe a greater speed, okay, than their individual speed. Listen to it. If both the buses are traveling in opposite direction, then the passengers observe a greater speed than their individual speed. Okay, in all these situations, there comes the importance of what? Significance of relative velocity. Okay, relative velocity means we can compare the velocities of two objects. That is actually the relative velocity. Okay, so relative velocity is actually the velocity of one body with respect to another body, or the velocity of one object. Velocity of one object or one body with respect to another. Okay, that is actually called relative velocity. Relative velocity is the velocity of one body or one object with respect to another object or another body. That is called what? Relative velocity. What is relative velocity? Relative velocity is actually the velocity of one object with respect to the velocity of another object. Then how we can measure this relative velocity? Actually, it can be measured as the rate of change of position of one object with respect to another object. Rate of change of position. Rate of change of position. Okay, relative velocity can be measured as the rate of change of position of one object with respect to another. Okay. So what is relative velocity? Relative velocity is the velocity of one object with respect to another object. Then how we can measure this relative velocity? Relative velocity can be measured as the rate of change of position of one object with respect to another. It can be measured as the rate of change of position of one object with respect to another. Next, we can find an expression for relative velocity. We can find an expression for relative velocity. For that, we are considering two objects A and B. Okay, we are considering two objects A and B moving along the same direction. Moving along the same direction. let the object A moves with a velocity v1 and let object B that moves with a velocity v2. Here we are considering two objects A and B. They are moving in the same direction, moving along the same direction. Let A moves with a velocity v1 and object B that moves with a velocity v2. Is it clear? The next we are considering, let x1 0, let x1 0 and x2 0 are the positions of A and B at time t equal to 0. Okay, at t equal to 0, we consider the position of A as x1 0 and position of B as x2 0. Okay, at t equal to 0, the position of A is taken as x1 0 and the position of B is taken as x2 0. Then at time t equal to t, the position of A is taken as x1 t and the position of B is taken as x2 t. Listen to it. At time t equal to 0, the position of A is taken as x1 0 and the position of B is taken as x2 0. Then at time t equal to t, the position of A is taken as x1 t and the position of B is taken as x2 t. Okay. So, all of us know what is velocity is actually, what is velocity? No, velocity is equal to displacement by time. Okay, displacement divided by time. Or we can say rate of change of displacement, that is equal to actually velocity. Okay, so we can write what is the displacement of A actually here. Its initial position is x1 0 and the final position is x1 t. Okay, initial position is x1 0 and the final position is actually x1 t. Then what is the displacement? Final position minus initial position. So we can write x1 t minus x1 0 divided by time t. That is actually the velocity of what? Velocity of object A. v1 equal to x1 t minus x1 0 divided by t. From this we can cross multiplying this, that is x1 t minus x1 0, that is equal to v1 t. Is it? Cross multiplying this we will get x1 t minus x1 0 is equal to v1 t, and this can be written as x1 t, that is equal to x1 0 plus v1 t. Okay, in this way only actually this equation came. Okay, x1 t is equal to x1 0 plus v1 t. Okay, all of you know velocity equal to displacement by time. Okay, then what is here? What is the displacement actually here? Its initial position is x1 0 and final position is x1 t. So the change of position is actually x1 t minus x1 0 divided by time t. Then by cross multiplying this we will get x1 t minus x1 0 is equal to v1 t. From this, what is actually x1 t? That is equal to, this will go right side. So we get x1 t is equal to x1 0 plus v1 t. Similarly, and this thing for the object A. Similarly, for the object B, we can write what? x2 t is equal to x2 0 plus v2 t. Okay. Similarly, for the object B, x2 t, that is equal to x2 0 plus v2 t. That is equation 2. Then we can minus equation 2 minus 1. Equation 2 minus 1. Actually, 2 minus 1 is x2 t minus x1 t. That is equal to x2 0 minus x1 0 plus v2 t minus v1 t. Or we can write v2 minus v1 into t. T is actually common, so we can write v2 minus v1 into t. Okay, equation 2 minus equation 1 gives x2 t minus x1 t. That is equal to x2 0 minus x1 0 plus v2 minus v1 into t. v2 minus v1 into t. Okay. Next we are assuming that this, or we can put x2t minus x on t, that is taken as x. Okay, we will put x2t minus x on t as x. Then take x20 minus x10 as x0. Okay. So, instead of x2t minus x on t, we can write x. Then instead of x20 minus x10 can be written as x0. So, x equal to x0 plus the remaining is v2 minus v1 into t. Okay, v2 minus v1 into t. From this actually v2 minus v1, that is equal to x minus x0 divided by t. Okay, v2 minus v1, that is equal to x minus x0 divided by time t. Okay, actually this is the relative velocity, the velocity of B, object B with respect to object A. Okay, v2 minus v1, that is equal to x minus x0 by t. And here this v2 minus v1, that represents the relative velocity of B, object B with respect to object 1. Okay, actually that is equal to what is the rate of change of position. Okay, actually v2 minus v1, that represents the relative velocity of B with respect to 1. Similarly, we can write v1 minus v2. Actually that represents the relative velocity of A with respect to 2. Okay, relative velocity of object A with respect to 2, that is actually v1 minus v2. Okay, actually this is the expression for what? Relative velocity. Okay, here we are considering two objects A and B. A moves with a velocity v1 and object B, that moves with a velocity v2. Then during the time t equal to 0, x10 is the position of A and x20 the position of B. And during the time t equal to t, the position of A is x on t and the position of B is actually x2t. Then we can represent x on t as x10 plus v1t. Okay, and here how we'll get this equation actually? From this actually velocity equal to displacement by time. You know what is displacement? Change of position. Initial position is x on 0 and final position is x on t. So we can write the change of position is x on t minus x on 0 divided by time t. From this x on t, cross multiplying this, we will get x on t minus x on 0 equal to v1t. From this we have to write x on t. So x on t is equal to x on 0 plus v1t. Let it equation number 1. Similarly, for the object B, we can write x2t is equal to x20 plus v2t. Let it equation number 2. Then 2 minus 1 gives x2t minus x on t. That is equal to x20 minus x10 plus v2 minus v1 into t. Okay. And here v1t. Okay, and here we can put x2t minus x on t. That thing we taken as x. Okay, put x2t minus x on t as x. Then x20 minus x on 0 is taken as what? X0. Okay, so instead of x2t minus x on t, we can write x. So x equal to x20 minus x on 0. We took it as x0. So instead of this, we can write x0. Plus remaining is v2 minus v1 into t. Okay. Then we have to find v2 minus v1. Okay. v2 minus v1. Actually, we have to find but v2 minus v1. Okay. For that, we can rewrite this equation as x minus x0. Okay. X minus x0 is what? Actually, v2 minus v1 into t. Okay, x minus x0 is actually v2 minus v1 into t. Then what is v2 minus v1 from this? v2 minus v1 equal to x minus x0 by t. Okay, v2 minus v1 equal to x minus x0 by t. Actually, this is the relative velocity of object B with respect to the object A. Similarly, we can write the relative velocity of object A with respect to B as v1 minus v2. Okay, that is v1 minus v2. Okay. Next, relative velocity in terms of position time graph. Okay, we can represent the relative velocity in terms of position time graph, and this can be studied under different conditions. Okay, this position time graph can be studied under different conditions. We know the equation for relative velocity, that is v2 minus v1 equal to x minus x0 by t. That thing you know. Okay, v2 minus v1 equal to x minus x0 divided by time t. Okay, our first condition is if both the objects are moving with the same velocity. Okay, if both the objects are moving with the same velocity, in that case v1 equal to v2. Okay, if both the objects are moving in the same velocities, then v1 equal to v2. Then in this equation, when v1 equal to v2, then what happens to x minus x0? It becomes 0. Okay, v1 minus v2, that are equal means v2 minus v1 equals actually 0. So x minus x0 is actually 0. So we will get x equal to x0. Okay, x equal to x0. X equal to x0 means here both the objects are always in the same distance of separation. Okay, if x equal to x0 means what? Its position, always they are in the same distance of separation. So we get parallel straight lines. Okay, so the nature of graph is actually the parallel straight lines. So what happens to its relative velocity? The relative velocity is actually 0. The relative velocity is actually what? 0. Okay, so in the first case, we'll consider both the objects are moving in the same velocity. So v1 equal to v2. So when v1 equal to v2, we have the relation v2 minus v1 equal to x minus x0 by t. That becomes x minus x0 equal to 0. So x equal to x0. This means what? Actually x equal to x0 means both the objects or both the bodies are always in the same distance of separation. Okay, both the objects are always in the same distance of separation. So we get parallel straight lines. Okay, that is the nature of graph, parallel straight lines, and in this case the relative velocity is equal to 0. Okay, so we have learned the position time graph of two objects in terms of relative velocity, that is they are moving with the same velocities. Okay, and the second is the position time graph of two objects that moves with unequal velocities. Actually, this is the position time graph of two objects that moves with unequal velocities, and here we are considering v1 greater than v2, that is object A that moves with a greater speed than the object 2 or object B. Okay, A moves with a greater speed or greater velocity than the object B. So, if v1 equal to v1 greater than v2, then what happens to this equation? When v1 greater than v2, that means x1 minus x0, that becomes negative, or x minus x0, that becomes what? Negative. Okay, and so in this case actually the distance between A and B, that will decrease with the time. Okay, the distance between A and B, that decreases with time, and they meet at a point. Okay, and they meet at a point, and the faster one that moves to a larger distance, and here the object A that moves faster than the object B, so that moves to a larger distance. Okay, and here actually this is the position time graph of two objects that moves with the unequal velocities. So here we are considering that if v1 greater than v2, that means the object A that moves faster than the object B. In this case, when v1 becomes greater than v2, then x minus x0 or x1 minus x0 is actually negative. Okay, so the distance of separation between these two, that is A and B, decreases with the time. The distance of separation between A and B decreases with the time, and they meet. Actually, this is the represents the time of meeting. Okay, they meet, and the faster one that moves to a large distance, and the faster one that moves to a large distance. Okay, actually this is the position time graph of two objects that moves with unequal velocities. Okay, the next condition is the object B that moves faster than object 1, that is V2 greater than V1. Okay, when we consider when V2 were greater than V1, then what about the position time graph? Actually, the position time graph gradually the distance between the two objects, that is gradually increases with time. Okay, actually this represents the position time graph when the object B that moves faster than object A. Okay, the distance of separation between these two objects that gradually increases with time. Okay, and here the third condition is actually the object B that moves faster than object A. That means V2 greater than V1. Okay, in that case, actually this is the nature of position time graph. So here we can say the distance between the two objects gradually increases with the time when V2 greater than V1. Okay, that is about the relative velocity and the relative velocity in terms of position time graph. Okay, next we can do the problems. All of you have the questions that I have given. Okay, take the questions. Okay, and the first question is a body travels from A to B at 40 meter per second and from B to A at 60 meter per second. Calculate the average speed and average velocity. Okay, and here a body travels from A to B. Suppose here it is A and it is B. Here A to B at 40 meter per second. A to B at 40 meter per second, and again from B to A, its speed is actually what, 60 meter per second. Okay, here the body travels at a speed of 40 meter per second from A to B, and from B to A it travels a speed of what, 60 meter per second. Then we have to calculate the average speed and average velocity. All of you know the equation for average speed. What is the equation for average speed? Total distance travelled by or total time. Okay, total distance travelled divided by total time. Actually, this is the equation for average speed. Okay, here but the time is not given actually. Okay, distance we can take it as AB, this much distance, and from here to A it is actually B. Okay, but the time is not given. Okay, if we know the time, then only we can calculate what average speed. But we know the equation, we can calculate time. Okay, speed equal to distance by speed equal to distance by time. From this, what is time actually? Time is equal to distance divided by what? Speed. Distance by speed, that is actually time. Okay, time is equal to distance divided by speed. Okay, first we have to calculate the time taken by the object to travel from A to B. That is taken as actually T1. Okay, the T1 equal to distance from A to B, actually it is AB. What is the speed of the object that travels from A to B? Actually it is 40. Okay, then what about T2? T2 is the time taken by the object to travel from B to A. Okay, actually that distance is actually BA divided by what is the speed that travels from B to A? 60. Okay, that is actually 60. Then what is the total time? T is equal to T1 plus T2. So we can write AB divided by 40 plus BA divided by actually 60. Okay, actually these two are equal. AB that is equal to actually BA. So that is taken as common. That is 1 by 40 plus 1 by 60. And this thing can be written as AB into, here it is 40 into 60. And here in numerator actually it is 60 plus 40. Okay, that is equal to AB into actually 100. That is divided by 40 into 60. By simplifying this, we will get AB divided by 24. Actually, that is the total time. AB divided by what? 24. Okay, and next we can calculate what average speed. Okay, average speed is equal to total distance. Actually here total distance is AB plus BA. Actually that can be written as 2AB. 2AB divided by what is total time? AB divided by 24. Actually this AB cancels and 2 in 24, that is 48 meter per second. That is the average speed, 48 meter per second. That is the average speed. Then what is the average velocity here? What is the average velocity? And here the body started its journey from A and it goes to B. Then from B it again came to where? A. Okay, so what is the displacement actually here? What is the displacement? Since the object returns to its initial position, so the displacement is equal to 0. So the average velocity, that is equal to what? Average velocity is equal to 0. Okay, the average velocity is actually 0. And here a body travels from A to B at 40 meter per second, and from B to A it travels at a speed of 60 meter per second. We have to calculate the average speed and average velocity. All of you know the equation for average speed, total distance by total time. Okay, for calculating the average speed we should know the total distance and also the total time. Distance that we know AB and BA, but we don't know the time. So using this equation we can calculate time. That is speed equal to distance by time. From that, time is equal to distance by speed. First we have to calculate the time taken by the object to travel from A to B. Let it be T1. T1 is equal to this much distance AB divided by corresponding speed 40. Then what is T2? The time taken by the object to travel from B to A. So it is distance, corresponding distance is BA and the speed is 60. So T2 equal to BA by 60. Then what is total time? T1 plus T2. So AB by 40 plus BA by 60. Now you know these two are equal, AB and BA. So we can take it as common. So AB into 1 by 40 plus 1 by 60, that is equal to, by simplifying this actually we will get what? AB divided by 24. Okay, so what is average speed? Total distance by total time. Here the total distance is actually 2AB divided by total time. We got it as AB by 24. So AB cancels and 2 in 24, 48. That 48 is the 48 meter per second is the average speed of the object. Next we have to calculate the average velocity. You know here from started it traveling from A, and after reaching B it again returned to A. So what about the displacement? Displacement is equal to 0. So the average velocity is 0. Okay, is it clear for you? The next question is, a train moves with a speed of 30 km per hour in the first 15 minutes with another speed of 40 km per hour in the next 15 minutes, and then with a speed of 60 km per hour in the last 30 minutes. Calculate the average speed of the train in km per hour in this entire journey. Okay, we have to calculate the average speed of the train. Okay, and here also the train that moves with a speed of 30 km per hour in the first 15 minutes. Okay, in the first 15 minutes the train travels with a speed of 30 km per hour in the first 15 minutes. Okay, we have to calculate what average speed. You know the equation for average speed, that is equal to total distance by total time. This is the equation for what? Average speed, total time. Okay, here actually the time is given. Okay, but the distance is not given. Okay, so to find the average speed, we should know total distance and total time. But the distance is not given. But we can calculate distance. Okay, or if you know the equation, speed equal to what? Speed equal to distance by time. Okay, speed equal to distance by time. From this, distance is equal to speed into what? Speed into time. Okay, from this distance equal to what? Speed into time. Okay, then For the first we have to calculate how much distance is covered by the train during the first 15 minutes. Okay, that distance first we can find. So that distance is taken as d1. Okay, in the first 15 minutes, how much distance is traveled or distance is covered by the train. Okay, that thing we have to find. That is represented as d1. So dn equal to speed. In the first 15 minutes, the train travels with a speed of 30 km per hour. So the speed is actually 30. Into what is the time? Actually 15 minutes. Okay, but here we have to calculate the average speed in kilometer per hour. So we have to convert this minute into hour. Okay, actually 15 minutes, how we can convert it into hour actually? 15 minutes, how we can convert? That divided by 60. Okay, for 30 into 15 divided by 60. Actually that is the distance covered by the train during the first 15 minutes. Okay, distance equal to speed into time. In the first 15 minutes, the train travels with a speed of 30 km per hour. So that speed 30 into time is actually 15 minutes. But we have to convert it into hour. So divided by 60. Okay. So 30 into 15 divided by 60. That is actually what 7.5 kilometer. So the first distance we got it as 7.5 kilometer. Okay. And next 15 minutes the train travels with the speed of what 40 kilometer per hour. So next 15 minutes, how much distance covered by the train? That distance is actually represented as d2. Then corresponding speed is actually 40 into the time is actually 15 minutes. Again we have to divide it by 60 to convert it into hour. So we got 40 into 15 divided by 60. By simplifying this, we will get 10 kilometer. It is actually 10 kilometer. Okay. And the next and the remaining distance with this, and the remaining distance actually it travels with a speed of what 60 kilometer per hour in the last 30 minutes. So we have to find the distance covered by the train in the last 30 minutes. So it is d3 and the corresponding speed is 60. 60 into what is the time actually 30 minutes. So 30 divided by 60 actually it is equal to 30 kilometer. Okay, so we got the three distances covered by the train during the first 15 minutes and the second 15 minutes and the last 30 minutes. So what is total distance? D is equal to D1 plus D2 plus D3. So we get 7.5 plus 10 plus actually 30. That is actually is equal to what? 47.5 kilometer. 47.5 kilometer. Okay. The next we can find what average speed. Okay. What is average speed actually? What is average speed? Total distance traveled by total time. Actually total distance is 47.5. They divided by total time. Actually here the time is first time actually it is 15 minutes. Then second time T2 is equal to again 15 minutes. Then T3 is actually 30 minutes. Okay, then what is total time? T1 plus T2 plus T3. Then 15 minutes plus 15 minutes plus 30 minutes. Actually it is 60 minutes. That corresponds to 1 hour. 60 minutes equal to what? 1 hour. So it is divided by 1. Again we will get 47.5 kilometer per hour. This is the average speed of the train. Okay, 47.5 kilometer per hour is the average speed of the train. Okay, here a train that moves with a speed of 30 kilometer per hour in the first 15 minutes. So we have to calculate the distance travelled by the train during the first 15 minutes. For that we take this equation, speed equal to distance by time. From this distance equal to speed into time. Here the speed is 30 kilometer per hour. So 30 into what is time? 15 by 60, that is 7.5 kilometer. And next 15 minutes, it travels with the speed of 40 kilometer per hour. So we have to find the corresponding distance covered, that is represented as d2. d2 is equal to 40 into speed 40 into 15 by 60, that is equal to 10 kilometer. And in the next 30 minutes, it travels with the speed of 60 km per hour, and the corresponding distance d3 is equal to 60 into 30 divided by 60, that is equal to 30 km. Okay, so we can calculate the total distance. Actually, it is 47.5 km. Then we know the average speed equal to total distance by total time. Then what is total time? Actually, we have to add all the times that is given in the question. So we got 60 minutes. Actually 60 minutes corresponds to 1 hour. So the total time is 1 hour. So the average speed equal to total distance by total time. So 47.5 divided by 1, that will give 47.5 kilometer per hour. Okay, the third question is, a race car accelerates on a straight road from rest to a speed of 180 km per hour in 25 seconds. Assuming uniform acceleration of the car throughout, find the distance covered by this time. Okay, here a race car accelerates on a straight road from rest. Okay, here the car started its journey from rest. So what about its initial velocity? U equal to 0. Okay, then with a speed of 180 km per hour, so its velocity changes to v, that is equal to 180 km per hour. 180 km per hour. Okay, and during that time, actually t is equal to what? 25 seconds. T is equal to 25 seconds. Okay, then we have to find the distance covered by the car during 25 seconds. Okay, and here the velocity, the final velocity is in kilometer per hour. That thing we have to convert it into meter per second. You know how we can convert kilometer per hour into meter per second. How we can convert this kilometer per hour into meter per second? We have to multiply by 5 by 18. So 180 into 5 by 80. That is actually 50 meter per second. Okay, 180 kilometer per hour, that corresponds to 50 meter per second. So the t, that is equal to what? 25 second. We have to find the distance s. Okay, then how we can calculate s? Actually, we know the relation. S equal to what? S equal to ut plus half at square. The distance travelled during the time 25 seconds. That thing we have to calculate. This equation, S equal to ut plus half at square. U is given. Okay, we know u. What is u? Then time t is given, but acceleration a is not known. Okay, but so we can calculate acceleration. You know what is equation for acceleration? Acceleration a is equal to change in velocity by time. Okay, change in velocity, that is v minus u by t. That is actually the acceleration. V minus u by t, that is the acceleration. So we can substitute v as 50 minus u 0 divided by time, actually 25. So we got the acceleration 2 meter per second square is the acceleration, 2 meter per second square. Okay, then distance travelled is equal to, we can substitute ut plus half at square. You know u equal to 0. So 0 into t, actually again 0. 0 plus half into, that is a actually 2 meter per second square. Then t square, 25 square. Okay, then 2 cancel, actually 25 square, actually it is 625 meter. So the distance travelled is actually 625 meter. Distance travelled by the racing car during the time 25 seconds is actually 625 meter. Okay, and here a race car accelerates on a straight road from rest. So its initial velocity u is taken as 0. And it increases a speed of 180 km per hour. So its final velocity is 180 km per hour. Here we have to convert this kilometer per hour into meter per second. So 180 into 5 by 80, that will give 50 meter per second. and time is given as 25 seconds. We have to find the distance traveled by the car during the 25 seconds. For we have to select this equation, distance traveled is equal to ut plus half at square. Okay. But we don't know a, so we have to first calculate acceleration a equal to v minus u by t. Okay, all of you should know the equations very well, then only you can do the problems. Okay, then substitute for v, u and t. 50 minus 0 by 25, that is equal to 2 meter per second square, and substituting this value, the distance traveled is given as 625 meter. Okay. Next, the fourth question is, a car starting from rest has an acceleration of 5 meter per second square. How fast will it be after 10 seconds? Okay, here a car start from rest. So its initial velocity u equal to 0. Has an acceleration is given. A is equal to 5 meter per second square. Then we have to find after 10 seconds what is the speed of the car. Okay, how fast will it move after 10 seconds. That thing we have to find. So time is given as 10 seconds. Okay, the initial velocity here, the car start from rest, so its initial velocity u equal to 0, and acceleration a is given as 5 meter per second. Then the time t is given as 10 seconds. So we have to find velocity or the speed of the car after 10 seconds. Okay, so we have the relation b is equal to u plus at. v equal to u plus at. u is actually 0 plus acceleration is actually 5 meter per second square. The time is 10. So it is 50 meter per second. That is the speed of the car after 10 seconds. Okay, here a car starting from rest, so its initial velocity is 0. Has an acceleration a is given as 5 meter per second square. Then we have to find after 10 seconds what is the speed attained by the car. So we have to find velocity or the speed v. Okay, we have the relation v is equal to u plus at. Then substitute u as 0 plus acceleration a 5 into time 10. So it is actually 50 meter per second. Okay, this is the speed of the car attained after 10 seconds. Is it clear? And the fifth question is, a bus start from rest and acquires a velocity of 54 km per hour in 2 minutes. We have to find the acceleration and the distance traveled by the car during this time. Okay, here the bus start from rest, so its initial velocity u is given as 0 and acquires a velocity of 54 km per hour. So its velocity b equal to 54 km per hour. Okay, in 2 minutes, so time is given as 2 minutes. We have to find the distance and the acceleration. Okay, here the velocity is 54 km per hour. Here we have to convert this kilometer per hour into meter per second. All of you know how we can convert this kilometer per hour into meter per second, multiplying by 5 by 18. So we get 15 meter per second. That is the velocity. Okay, and here the time is given as 2 minutes. That thing also we have to convert it into second. 1 minute corresponds to how much seconds? 60 seconds. So 2 minutes corresponds to 120 seconds. Okay, and next we have to find its acceleration. Okay, we have to find acceleration and the distance traveled s. Okay, then acceleration, you know, we have the relation b is equal to u plus at. Okay, from this we can write acceleration a as what? b minus u by t. Okay, we can take the equation for acceleration directly. Okay, acceleration a is equal to, instead of this we can take this one directly, a equal to v minus u by t. That is actually the acceleration. Okay, v is actually 50 minus 0 divided by actually 120 seconds. Okay, that is 15 divided by 120. Actually it is equal to what? 15 divided by 120 is actually 3 divided by 24. Okay, 3 divided by 24, actually it is 1 by 8. meter per second square. The acceleration A is equal to 1 by 8 meter per second square. That is acceleration. Next we have to find the distance traveled S. All of you know the equation of distance traveled. S equal to ut plus half at square. Ut plus half at square. Okay. U is actually 0, so this term becomes 0. Then half into A, actually 1 by 8. Then T square. T square is 120 into 120. Okay, by simplifying this, we will get actually 900 meter. This is the distance traveled. Actually, this is the distance traveled by the bus during the time 2 minutes. Okay, here a bus starts from rest, so its initial velocity equal to 0. Okay, and acquires a velocity of 54 km per hour. So its final velocity V equal to 54 km per hour. And here we have to convert this kilometer per hour into meter per second. Then multiplying by 5 by 18, we will get 15 meter per second. Okay, during the time 2 minutes. Actually 2 minutes correspond to 120 seconds. We have to find acceleration. So acceleration A is equal to v minus u by t. Substituting this, you will get the acceleration as 1 by 8 meter per second square. Then the distance traveled is equal to, the equation ut plus half at square. Okay, then u is 0, so this term becomes 0. Then half into A is actually 1 by 8, then t square 120 into 120. By simplifying this, we will get 900 meter. Okay, is it clear? Okay children, that is the end of this class. Actually still problems there. That thing we can see on the next section. Okay, thank you.